Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rich here, and today we have an update about the whole Discord ID verification thing. Now, today is February 25th. Yesterday, the 24th, we had an update from Discord saying that they would push back the whole ID verification thing that they're trying to implement. We're going to talk about that. This video won't be too long. On your screen, you're going to see two things. One, at times, you're going to see Vice City gameplay. Number two, you're going to see a screenshot of the summary of kind of everything that's going on with this newer implementation. We're going to read each panel and then summarize my thoughts. All right, we're going to start with the first one. We don't need to talk about that one that much. They're pushing back everything until the latter half of 2026. So number one, bullying works. Obviously keep denying this stuff. We don't want ID verification. Clearly they listened for a little bit and they're going to try to actually really lock in on this stuff. Keep on bullying, even if it does get implemented probably in like June or July. Keep bullying, just keep bullying, bro. And we already know that the ID verification is a thing for Discord users in the UK and in Australia. I actually talked about that in the last Discord update video that I did. Nothing much else to talk about here though. Now we're still on the left, by the way. We're going to privacy first. Drop persona. Any facial age estimation must be entirely on device. Your biometric data stays on your phone. Now with this whole thing, we talked about this kind of in the last summary I did. There's this thing saying that your biometric data stays on your phone. No, like they're taking your data when you put in a picture. It doesn't take rocket science to figure that crap out. Some of these companies be doing some wild stuff, so come on, like I don't need to rehash on that again. So that part of this is done. First part, they dropped Persona. Persona was the third-party vendor that Discord was working with, and when they worked with Discord in October of 2025, they had a massive hack that happened to Persona, the third-party vendor, and 70,000 people, their identifications got leaked. And their identity got leaked because of a hack. So that's a lot of people that, you know, hackers could do some crazy stuff with certain information. Look, the vendors, the third-party vendors, it's not much. Well, it is important because again, they're withholding your information. So you're trying to trust them to hold on to things like your name, your birthday, and maybe what state you're from or whatever. So when that stuff gets out, it's not good for anybody. So hopefully this next vendor doesn't end up in a pile of shit like Persona did. And there is speculation that the next vendor is from a country, but I don't know if that's true or not. It probably isn't. I'm not going to mention it here because it wasn't confirmed. I didn't see that anywhere else. And then the middle part of this little panel, and then we'll move on to the next one. Any facial age estimation must be entirely on device. Basically a picture. It has to be on the device you're signing into. So if you're signing into Discord on a phone, open your gallery, find something if you're going to actually commit to this. MacBook, if you have a picture there, etc., etc. We don't need to talk about this any further. The next panel here on the bottom left, we're not going to be here long either. New spoiler channels coming soon. No need to age gate for heavy topics, politics, or spoilers, separate from 18 plus channels. I'm surprised this wasn't already a thing. Like if you have a community on Discord and maybe you have things where you have channels for gaming news or gaming conversations amongst your community, or sports or wrestling or whatever, you can do one for politics and mark it as a spoiler. This does not include adult content. That's completely separate from that. Again, I don't know how this wasn't already a thing, but hey, it is what it is. Now we move on to the latter half of these panels. The middle right is insane, bruh. I should mention as well before we continue and finish out this video, it is a little windy outside today. It is, whew, buddy. So you might hear in the background if there's no music playing. My bad if you do. But getting into this top right part, 90% of users won't need to do anything. No ID face scan for most. Auto verification via non-invasive signals such as account age, activity, without message reading. So it says most users will be unaffected, or most. In the last video I did, I also mentioned that nothing would change relatively speaking. So Discord repeating this is I guess for this situation, it's a good thing. You know, this whole ID verification nonsense, it's just stupid, but you know, it is what it's gonna be. Like, this isn't going to be the end of ID verification on the internet. It's gonna be damn near everywhere within the next few years until it just stops becoming a thing for companies to go to. And in the last video, I mentioned that if you had like a watch party or something like that, like, you'd still be able to go into that watch party, even with the whole if you don't comply with the whole ID verification thing. Like, you'd still be able to talk in your little chat. You would still be able to do that mainly and view whatever's being watched or whatever, but you can't speak on stage. I'm guessing that's probably going to stay the same. It might not, depending on what happens. And also, certain messages in your little chat probably wouldn't be allowed to get shown to you, even if spoiled, because you would have teen restrictions on your account. Now, the auto verification thing, that's something they did not mention last time. So this is basically like a we're gonna kind of track you to see if you're actually telling the truth about your age thing. So really being based on what kind of messages you're sending in your community, I'm guessing, what kind of topics you generally talk about, or tweets that you might send, signals like that. Basically, they're gonna just track that to see if you are an adult, and if they don't think you are actually telling the truth, they're probably gonna lock you out of whatever you're trying to do and say, oh, hey, you know, you're talking about Roblox or something like that. We think you might be underage, so go ahead and put in that ID, cuzzo. The next thing is insane, dude. This was not here last time. More verification options. Adding alternatives like credit card verification for manual checks. Now, I don't know if this means what I think it means. I know they ain't talking about like physical money. There's no way they're talking about that. They're definitely talking about this age verification stuff. What do you mean adding alternatives like credit card verification? I don't even need to talk about that. Going back to the point I made earlier about the third-party vendors and the hacking that happened and what people could do with your information if it's leaked, literally, it's repeating itself here. I don't need to even talk about that any further. Putting in your credit card for verification is nuts, bro. Yeah, move on to the next thing. I don't even need to talk about that. You already know how bad that could get. And I know they're not talking about getting physical checks from this. There's no way possible. No way possible, bro. And the last thing, refuse verification, account safe. You keep your account, servers, and friends. Only lose access to age-restricted content. No bans. So here, if you don't do the whole ID verification thing, say if, you know, they do the whole auto verification to just kind of see your patterns and what you talk about, and generally speaking, if you get forced to do the whole ID verification thing because of you not really seeming like you're of age or older than 18, then you will not have your account banned if you do not comply with the whole ID verification thing. You get to keep everything. The only thing you would lose access to is age restricted content, which again, you shouldn't be on Discord for stuff like that anyway. But that's all there is to it, man. And I guess just to summarize my thoughts on this whole thing, because I'm doing this without any sort of scripting, you know, we talked about it last time, man. Times are changing, dude. Like, just with social media and the internet in general, I talked about this last time. You know, ID verification is going to be everywhere. It's going to be, it's already been on the internet for a while. Obviously, a lot of adult content sites have ID verification things. You know, in certain states in the US, it's not everywhere, but it's going to get bad before it gets better. So just, this is not the last time you're going to see this. And I did say this. I don't think I actually put it in the video because it would have been too long. But I did a whole topic talking about social media and its impact with this whole ID verification thing. And I think it's one of the last big spaces that doesn't really have it yet. Like, I wouldn't be surprised at some point if Twitter had ID verification, TikTok, a lot of these US companies, because they're getting in trouble overseas because people are seeing the effects of social media, which is also a thing of, parents needing to kind of monitor what their kids do on the internet. Like, again, social media, you shouldn't have your kids on there anyway, especially if they're under 15. I think, especially nowadays with Twitter being or just social media in general, just being a thing for profit, you don't really need to be on it like that. And kids being on there, I don't think it's necessary. But that doesn't mean that that this is the alternative to finding out that solution. Saying that, hey, because we quote unquote care about the younger generation, we're going to start implementing ID verification in all these places. Most of the people that want this kind of stuff don't actually care about kids, bro. They're just finding a way to track you more on what you do and send you certain advertising for certain things and track what you do. And it's bad, man. But with social media, I wouldn't be surprised if it has ID verification in a little while. At some point in the future, in the not too far distant future. Discord did change a few things here from what I saw. Again, the auto verification thing that they're going to try to do, that wasn't brought up the last time we heard about this. So it's good that they're not going to make everybody try to do this, but there's a whole lot of trial and error that could happen with auto verification via what you talk about. There was also the whole spoiler channel thing that's new. The credit card thing, I don't even need to tap into that. And then the only losing access to age restricted content. That was what this whole thing was based around anyway, initially. It was to basically, pretty much make you put in stuff for your ID if you were trying to access that kind of content on here, which is already a thing on the internet with that kind of content. But that's it, man. I don't have anything else. I've rambled long enough. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make it rain on the like button, sub up, hit the little bell next to my name for notifications when I upload and post stuff. Follow me on my social media pages, Twitter/X, Blue Sky, Instagram. Stay tuned to the community tab for all updates. Ghost of Yote stuff, we currently finished that up. I did a summary for it. Go check it out if you're interested, at least the main story. I talked about that, and I also did the Let's Play for that. Check it out if you're interested. Other than that, stay informed on the whole Discord thing. Probably, I don't know if we're going to talk about it again. We might not talk about this again until it actually happens in probably June or July, if I had to guess. When people are probably going to kind of forget that this was supposed to happen. So stay informed on this kind of stuff, man. ID verification is only going to get worse, man. So thank y'all for watching the video. Much love. See y'all in the next video. Peace. Also, for another crucial moment in character development, Atsu would burn the sash of names. That talk with the spider really seemed to change her perspective on her journey. Atsu saying that she found another reason